All right, let's talk about something we all think we know, love. We usually think of it in terms of poems, songs, a feeling. But today, we're going to look at it through a completely different lens, the lens of hard science. We're going to see why love isn't just a nice to have, but an absolute necessity for our health and, believe it or not, our survival. So let's dive into the science of it all. So we have to start with the big one, the question at the heart of all this. Is love really just an emotion? Something that just kind of comes and goes? Or is there something way deeper, something truly vital happening inside our bodies? Well, the science on this is surprisingly clear. The answer is a huge no. Researchers from all kinds of fields now see love as exactly this, a fundamental requirement for us to survive. It's not a luxury item, it's a core need, right up there with everything else we need to live. And this gets us to a really key idea, the biological imperative. See, this isn't some cultural thing we made up. It's baked into our evolution. For our species to make it, we absolutely needed to pair bond to protect our kids, who are incredibly vulnerable for a long time. We needed to cooperate, to work together. And love? Love is the powerful biological engine that drives all of those essential survival behaviors. Okay, so if it's a biological need, what does it actually do for us? Well, let's start with the direct, measurable impact that love and connection have on our physical bodies. It's almost like having a built-in protective shield. And what's wild is just how tangible these benefits are. I mean, people in happy, committed relationships consistently have lower blood pressure, their immune system's stronger, they have a lower risk of heart disease, and get this, their bodies can literally heal faster. These aren't just tiny effects, they are major health advantages. So how in the world does this work? What's the secret sauce? Well, a huge part of it comes down to stress. That emotional support and security you get from loving relationships, it acts like this amazing buffer, lowering our levels of stress hormones like cortisol. And since we know chronic stress is the bad guy behind so many health problems, anything that reduces it is going to have this incredible positive ripple effect on your whole body. And when you put it side by side like this, the contrast is just wow. On one side, you've got the body with love. It's stronger, it's more resilient. On the other side, the lack of these connections leads straight to chronic stress and social isolation, which are direct pathways to a whole host of physical health issues. The difference is literally written in our biology. But this whole physical shield thing, that's really only half the story. The impact love has on our minds is just as massive. In fact, you can think of it as a powerful antidote to one of the most dangerous conditions for our mental health, being isolated. And we really have to stop thinking of loneliness as just, feeling sad. The scientific community now recognizes it for what it truly is, a major health risk. It's a serious condition medically linked to higher rates of depression, anxiety, and even all those physical problems we were just talking about. And love is the direct countermeasure to that. Just having someone to lean on provides this critical buffer when we're dealing with stress and trauma. It actively protects against depression and helps us build emotional resilience, that ability to bounce back when things get tough. And it goes beyond just protection. It gives life a deeper sense of meaning and purpose. And this idea, it pushes us past just managing symptoms and into building a really positive foundation for our lives. Feeling loved and connected isn't just about surviving the bad stuff. It's about having a real reason to thrive. It's a cornerstone of a life that actually feels meaningful. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. We've talked about the individual, but how is this foundation built for, the entire next generation? Because the presence or absence of love in childhood has these massive society-wide implications. I think this is such a powerful way to think about it. A relational nutrient. Just like a kid needs vitamins and calcium to grow a strong body, their brain needs a steady diet of love and support to develop properly. It is an absolutely non-negotiable ingredient for building a healthy mind. And you can see this clear pathway almost like a positive chain reaction. It all starts with consistent love. That directly fuels healthy brain development. That, in turn, allows a child to build essential skills like resilience and empathy. And from there, they develop a solid sense of self-worth and the ability to manage their own emotions. But what happens when that first crucial step is missing? Well, researchers warn about a really worrying outcome. They use this kind of counterintuitive phrase, an empowered second generation, to describe a group of kids who grow up without those foundational skills of empathy and self-control, leaving them empowered only by their own unmanaged impulses. And all of this brings us full circle, right back to a simple but incredibly profound truth. When you look at all the evidence, from our hearts to our immune systems, from our mental health to how our kids' brains are literally built, the conclusion is just unavoidable. Love isn't a nice idea, it's a biological necessity. Which, of course, leaves us with one last, pretty big question to think about. If love really is a nutrient, as vital as the food we eat and the air we breathe, are we, as individuals and as a society, actually getting enough? And what does it mean if we're malnourished? Something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.